Welcome! In today's episode, Shai is guiding you through the Colnago's 2017 racing bikes range. Colnago has been known for producing wonderful bikes and not the best websites, in my opinion, because if you're not familiar with these models, you're not gonna be able to tell which model will be the best for you or for a certain type of riding, because there is no such infos, at least at the first glance. So I'm gonna help you with that. But I'm starting with four whys, four questions I'd like to ask Colnago as me, SickBiker, in my opinion. What's important? I'm gonna start with the least important to the most important, okay? So question number one, seat post diameter. I know the C60 model is just different. I'm gonna explain that to you in a second, but they say about the seat tube that oversized seat tube is strong, is stiff, and they say that 31.6 millimeter seat post will give you more dynamic road performance, and they say that here it's even lighter than the C59, the previous one, still being 31.6 millimeters of diameter. When we read about V1-r, then they will say that 27.2 is better for aerodynamics and comfort. They have some V1-r specific seat post here, but CLX, for example, will tell us the same thing. Smaller and lighter than oversized 31.6, more flexible, more comfy. I know you don't have to use the same diameter for all the bikes, but giving us, advantages of 31.6 here and then 27.2 there is kind of misleading for myself at least. But let's move on to the second why, which is the dropouts, and that's really misleading here, because Colnago say they really pay attention to the smallest details. So I'm reading out about those details, and what they say, C60, once more different bike, will have forged CNC machine one-piece dropouts, so non-carbon dropouts, and they say here very specifically that Colnago has always been proponents of aluminum dropouts for strength and reliability. So just better one-piece dropouts. Many brands for premium carbon bikes will have carbon dropouts. They say, we believe in alloy CNC forge and our connection joint between the dropouts and the seat stays and chain stays. Okay, let's go to the V1-r and read about the dropouts specifically, and it's here. And what we can find here, just a second, carbon frame dropouts. So here we can read about the innovation of V1-r with the carbon dropouts, which have advantages in terms of the strength and weight, and that's something they believe in right here. If we read about CLX, they will also tell us that the carbon dropouts are stronger and lighter. So no particular direction. Once more, different models can have different technologies, but here they say we believe in this, and here they say this is the best. Question number three is also in that matter. That's the aerodynamics. Okay, aerodynamics. Let's look at V1-r bike, which is really aerodynamic, and they partner with Ferrari and made the aero shapes, and they say specifically here that TT frames have the characteristic drop shape design in all tubing, and what they say, drop shape is for TT bikes that go straight, no peloton, not so much thinking about side wind. They have to cut through the wind, through the air. They have drop shape. Here we do not have drop shape. This is the aero shape, the truncated tubes, which many manufacturers now see are better, like Koratec have made great job in finding the best shape for the aerodynamics, and they also show us here just below that the wind does not come straight to us, but from the side, especially if you're riding in the peloton and drag is also being produced by other races, these shapes are the best for road racing. Okay, now look at the other model, which is concept. This is the drop shape, right? So once more, this is not a TT bike, this is not time trial specific, this is not triathlon specific, this is racing specific bike. And everybody knows that this part here, when the wheel is so close to the seat tube, and this is actually made for on TT bikes, there is no air coming through in between the wheel and the frame will not like the side wind. Also, the main tube here, the down tube, is actually drop shape. Maybe not exactly drop shape, but this is not the shape of the V1-r. So what's the direction here? I understand drop shape for TT and truncated, different shape for racing. This is just different direction, like different manufacturers. So that's what I don't understand, and that's my question to Colnago. And the last one is about premium bikes warranty, because you are paying like 5,000 bikes for the frame only on some models here, and you will get 3 years warranty if you register within 10 days after purchase, and 2 years if you do not register. And also it says here about the fatigue. So when the frame breaks or cracks out of fatigue, they don't have to replace it within those 2 or 3 years. So there is no lifetime warranty frame. Most of the manufacturers will tell you that, including fatigue, but 2 or 3 years of warranty is just not enough for premium bikes. They should have at least some crash replacement action plus lifetime warranty. If we look at the Wiggle side, they sell Colnago to us. They even say here that we are getting 1 year frame and parts warranty. So that's my question to you, Colnago. I know you have tradition, great bikes, but what means premium? Does it mean only the tradition? So that's important. I know many, especially Colnago owners, will take it as a critique. This is my question, and still Colnago bikes can be great, and I'm helping Colnago customers to find the right model. And now the overview of these bikes. All right. If you look at those 6, you will see right away the concept is the aero racing bike. So now you know if you are going for the speed, more stiffness, maybe not ladder, but just a stiff frame, not as comfy, but just very, very fast. That's the concept bike. And then the rest are super similar, and you have no clue whatsoever which one to choose. So remember, all these that start with C are carbon bikes. So these are carbon, V is carbon as well, and A is alloy. So they have one aluminum model. Let's start with this one for the sake of simplicity. A1r is a beautifully done aluminum frame. I wouldn't say this is only for the beginners. I would say if you like alloy and you want to be racing, this bike will not come with the high-end level components, but this frame with full carbon fork will be really good for any upgrade. You can put DI2, you can put EPS, you can put FSA, electronical group set, anything, because this frame is wonderful, it's so beautiful. So once more, full carbon fiber fork, and if you look at those welds, these actually don't look like welds, so really beautifully done frame. The weight, they don't tell us here about the weight. The previous model was 1350 grams, so not extremely light, but still light and beautiful. So remember, A1r, that's the alloy frame. Now, we've got this one covered. This is the concept, and this is made for speed, but different approach than V1r. You can read about these infos here. one more thing is that V1-r is made for aerodynamics, and it has the brakes, the caliper, rear caliper, just under your frame, just in the BB area, and this one has it in the traditional place. So which one is more aero, you have no clue whatsoever. But anyway, V1-r will be, I would say, the most sophisticated racing frameset of Colnago, because it is still well under kilo. It's under 900 grams frame. It's more aero than the C60, and it's just packed with the technology. So this bike is really for racers. Still, the pro peloton will use this model a lot, which is C60. This one is kind of traditional way of making carbon frames, but with the newest technologies. So this one is lacked. We have a lacked frame here, but no steel, no alloy here. It is the carbon fiber. The frame should be very strong. This is how it looks like, right? It's not made so much for comfort. It's not made so much for aerodynamics, but very good ride feel. They also say that the chainstays, seat stays are more comfy, but if you look at the profile of these, you will just find right away that other manufacturers will make much more flexy rear end, which is not the down or disadvantage of this model. It's just like it is. People love C60. They race on them. They win races. So once more, guys, if we look at the racing bikes here, the C60, that's the bike for racing. V1-r, that's the bike for racing. This one, I wouldn't go for this one, but this will be maybe for speed in racing. And then this is alloy, and here we have two entry level. The CRS is called the entry level, and thank God they say that. Okay, so we know CRS is the entry level carbon bike, and the CLX has not many differences. There's not many differences you would notice when riding the bike between CLX and CRS. CRS has integrated seat post clamp. CLX has the traditional one. Which one will be the better? I'm not sure that you would actually notice the difference in riding, but this will be more, well, let's call it affordable from Colnago. All right. So once more, if you've got deep pockets, C60 V1-r, if you love aero direction, these aero looking shapes, then Concept is for you. For aluminum lovers like me, A1r, great bike. And then if you don't have so much money, still want to have a Colnago bike, CRS and CLX. Now, geometry. All 5 bikes will have very similar geometry. The Concept will be a bit more aero, so you're bit lower and longer, so more reach on this bike. V1-r and CLX is actually exactly the same. I was checking the reach and stack, but CRS, A1r and C60 are not far from these geometries, so you should feel pretty much the same on these 5 bikes. And Concept a bit more aero, so you will need a bit more flexibility for this bike. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any of these bikes, let us know if you have further questions. I'm gonna read those in your comments. Thanks. Bye.